Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, February the 4th, about quarter of 10. And I want to talk about something most Americans are not informed about, and that is something called the Long March. One of the differences between democracies and dictatorships, totalitarian regimes, is the ability of societies to make long-range plans and stick to them. In democracies, open societies, plans are usually much shorter and are dependent on the political cycle of a nation, so 2 to 4 years. Plans can flip, plans can change, plans can get abandoned. Now, the reason I want to talk about the Long March, which most Americans don't know anything about, is because it's particularly of interest for us right now. In 1950, when the communists took power in China, they started what they called the Long March, which is a 100-year program, a 100-year plan, whose goal is to see communist China be the most powerful economic, political, and military nation on the planet by 2050. That's their plan. They've been working on it since 1950. Now, as I said, dictatorships can keep plans, right? There once upon a time used to be another nation called the Soviet Union, which had at its heart the nation of Russia. It was basically an empire, an extension of Russia. And they too, you have to believe, had long-range plans. I've said many times since I've been making these videos over the past, 8 months, that what we are experiencing is not a question of politics. It is not a question of social issues. It is not a question of economics. It is a question of espionage. And that espionage has been taking place for decades. So why is it important? It's very important that we in a free society develop the ability to have long-range plans, to look beyond the immediate economic impact of something, to look beyond the immediate political wins, and dedicate ourselves to a long-range plan. Right now, as we are in the midst of an attempted takeover and destruction of our democracy, it's important that we keep long-range plans about what we want in the future. And that has to start now with all of the American people who can speak and who are engaged, bombarding Republicans, particularly, with a call to resign. Resign. They're not representing the people. They're not representing the United States. They've become obstructions to democracy. They need to resign. It's very clear the Republican Party is compromised. Every person who can raise their voice against a Republican and push them through shame and guilt to resign needs to do that. This needs to be a concerted effort, and I'm starting to hear other creators talk about this, particularly Cash, the comedian creator called Cash. I can't remember his first name, but he has been out there on the trail in his comedy sets, in his protests, speaking about the fact that we all need to call for the Republicans to resign. We need to shame them continuously so that we can flip the House and begin the process of investigations about what is going on. And this is going to be a hard pull. This is going to take time. It's not something that's going to happen quickly. For us to extricate ourselves from where we are, to pull the claws of the Russian bear from us, it's going to take time and dedication. And then after that, it is going to take decades of concerted effort for us to put this country back into some type of order that will work for all of us again. So it's important for all of us not just to understand where we are, but to look to the future and start making plans for that long range rebuilding and renovation of our nation. Nothing that we're experiencing has come to pass because of a political cycle. Nothing that we're experiencing has come to pass because of something that has happened in the past decade. There have been long-range plans and efforts made to destroy and undermine this nation, because if this nation falls, then the dictators of the world can say and make the argument, democracy has failed. We have to prove them wrong. And that's going to take dedication and planning and a long-range plan, not just for a year, not just for a decade, but we need to have a century plan for the United States. Because the dictators of the world have plans against us and have been working on these plans for a very, very long time. And we need to confront that as individuals and as a nation to say no. The principles of our revolution are real. They're not given by anyone. They are innate to all of us. And we will not give up life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Go carefully, friends.